Well, let's have a look at the Three of Hearts, solar value number 3. Interesting card because in the mundane distribution, it's the first card, the first column, and the first row. So it's the top rightmost card. And obviously, because we remember the spiritual spread, this Three of Hearts displaces the Ace of Hearts. So here's an interesting constellation because the Three of Hearts is about emotional creativity, but also the worry of not getting enough love. And with that Ace of Hearts as its first karma card, because it displaces that card in the spiritual spread, it's also like throwing it back a little because you are a 3, but you owe the 1, the Ace. And the Ace has a desire for love. And the Three of Hearts needs to remember that it mustn't scatter its energies because that's always a risk with the threes. So let's have a look at the planetary sequence of that card. The Ace of Clubs in Mercury speaks of a very strong mind because the Ace of Clubs says, I'm curious, I'm alert, and I want to begin a new mental cycle. Because aces are about beginnings, about that creative urge that emerges. And here with the club suit, it's on the mental side. And it's in the mental position because it's the Mercury card to the Three of Hearts. So there's a strong desire to express something original or to pursue a new way of thinking. And that is being pushed ahead quite forcefully because that's the ace energy in that position. Again, you may have heard this. If you push forward, if you really express your ideas, if you communicate loudly and clearly, then there's also a place for silence. So mental activity is not always outwardly directed, but also inwardly directed. So that person needs to seek the silence because otherwise the mind will go into overdrive and be to the detriment of a Three of Hearts rather than the benefit. The Queen of Hearts in Venus balances this a little bit because there's a Queen energy which is far down because it's the 12th card in the club suit, and the Queen has that quiet wisdom energy to her. And that in the Venus position somehow softens that very boisterous Ace of Clubs Mars, Ace of Clubs in Mercury energy. So you may be asked to play this role, so to be a calm presence for others, to love through understanding rather than reaction. That's when you've learned that your Three of Hearts is about emotional creativity, multitude, but not about worry, not about something on the negative side. Be selective with your affections and generous with your insight. The best relationships for you, because of those two club cards, are the ones that feel like dialogue. And you learn a lot about your emotions as you communicate with others. Then we've got a 10 of spades in Mars. That's interesting because Mars is about action, it's about dynamics. And the 10 of spades is the workaholic card. It's a very, very strong card. It's the last suit, and the 10 is about manifestation. Because of this high workload that is being exerted here, you need to focus, not to overextend yourself. So choose the areas in which you get busy very wisely, because that's where you will get really busy and that's where you will have to focus and not scatter your energy, not to be occupied with too many things in too many places. Remember, your energy is sacred and it needs to be directed towards a goal that aligns with your deeper goals and not just your calendar. Next in Jupiter, interesting card here. It's a 5 of clubs. It's the most unstable card of the deck because clubs is about communication and fives is about seeking. So they are seeking for new experiences on the mental in the mental realm. And Jupiter expands through change. So the Five of Clubs shows that mental restlessness inherent in the Five of Clubs can become an opportunity. So broaden your ideas, question old beliefs, and certainly explore new directions. That's where the benefit for the Three of Hearts comes from. And again, we have a 3 energy, an Ace energy, and then a 5 energy. So very explorative and very curious on the emotional side and on the communication side. Once again, here the wisdom lies in movement with purpose and not just change for its own sake. Let curiosity guide you, but let experience shape your choices. The Three of Diamonds in Saturn means it's about maturity, a card here of creative decision making in the material world. You may feel pressure around your financial life, your expression, or your place in the world, because that's Saturn's rather restricting influence. And again, the Three of Diamonds on the negative side is the worry of not having enough money. And that makes perfect sense, because in all that exploration on the emotional and the mental side of that Three of Hearts, with those clubs cards, the Ace of Clubs, the Queen of Clubs, and the Five of Clubs, there could be a tendency to neglect the financial side. So the Three of Diamonds in Saturn speaks of financial creativity, but that needs to be structured and ordered, because otherwise that Three of Hearts may find itself in a financial lurch. Then comes the Ace of Spades in Uranus, the last card on the Mercury line. And Uranus is about sudden changes. It's about awakening, disruptive things, clarifying things. And the Ace of Spades is the card of the secret orders, and it's the desire for wisdom. The Uranus position also speaks of friends. So the wisdom is coming through friends, and it's been sought with friends, because the Ace of Spades, once again, it's an ace quality, and it seeks the initiative, it takes the initiative, and in the Uranus position, that comes through friends and communities. So it could be lodges, it could be some kind of communal, not effort, but communal organization where that wisdom is being sought. This is a card of deep beginnings that often masquerade as loss, but what's removed now makes space for truth to arrive. And it's a Uranus card, and Uranus and Neptune are more for later in life. So expect the wisdom to kick in after rather turbulent early and midlife. That's what I would say with that Ace of Spades in Uranus. Coming up, Neptune, first card on the Venus line, and here we've got the Seven of Hearts. Seven of Hearts is about spiritual love. Interesting here, again, towards the end of life, so there's another hearts card. In between, there's only clubs and spades and diamonds. So here comes a hearts card, and it says here that Neptune softens the edge of life, and with the Seven of Hearts, it invites emotional refinement. This card brings lessons around love, illusion, and trust. People may disappoint, not because they're unkind, but because we've projected onto them. So your task is to clearly see without becoming cynical. Keep your heart open, but rooted in truth. And that's a reminder for the Three of Hearts not to fall prey to the illusionary nature of Neptune as far as matters of the heart are concerned. Because the Seven of Hearts means spiritual love, but also turning inwards and finding true love and truth inside rather than on the outside, but always, keeping the feet firm on the ground, because Neptune has that knack for tricking you and for, sort of being nebulous and not really clear. So that is your challenge. Finally, Pluto, next to the Seven of Hearts, we'll find the Seven of Diamonds, planet of transformation with Pluto. And this speaks to value, what you chase, what you fear losing, what you think defines you. Money may shift, recognition may waver, but underneath it all is a call to remember that worth is not granted externally, it's remembered inwardly. What you release now returns to you in wiser form. And here again, it's a sevens card. It's a card of losses, financial losses. So the transformational subject for the Three of Hearts is to make sure that it is actually financially well off, not just in finances, but in generally in terms of values. And values are then again connected to the emotions and the mental side. So the lifelong transformation here is about using the beautiful qualities that the Seven of Diamonds, being the millionaire's card, brings with, and actually allows you to be financially well off. But then, but again, remember, this is your transformation. This is something that you need to remember. This is something where you need to leave things behind, especially the ego. And the ego is very much driven by hearts and clubs energy, being a hearts card with all those clubs cards, so all those mental constructs. And again, with the Three of Diamonds in Saturn and the Seven of Diamonds in Pluto, both the positions where you really get tested, they both have diamonds cards. So it's about values and it's about finances. And they're both odd cards, which means that they can lead to change. And change means fluctuation. And fluctuations means they could be up and down. And that's not always good. So for the Three of Hearts, it's a constant reminder to create a stable financial foundation in life in that quest for more knowledge, for communication, for travel, etc. And that's it for the Three of Hearts. A little longer here in this format, but that's what you expect. And I hope you gained some insight. The birthdays for the Three of Hearts are the 28th of December and the 30th of November. So there are only two Three of Hearts birthdays, as planetary rulers obviously could be other birth dates, but sort of we are more than just those two, but we're just looking at the pure birthdays here in this series. Thank you very much for paying attention.